Today I'm sharing Qwen-Image-2512, a complete workflow for a raw image. I will give a brief introduction first, and then go into more detail. The first one is the default with no acceleration. 2512 Wuyangfeng TO. This default generated result is the best. This can be set to 30 steps. The second is partial redrawing. A lightning acceleration feature has been added here. The speed is about the same as image. You can generate a direct application in just 8 steps. You can add prompts to make partial modifications. Below are images generated using lightning acceleration. Comparison with Lora's accelerated raw image. Of course, lightning would produce an even better effect, but it's not as good as the default one. The effect of 30 steps is naturally even more amazing. For example, the label on this head doesn't look very good. If it's the original default workflow, it works better without speeding it up. This upgrade is definitely better than 2500. The effect will be better. This is Turbo Lora for acceleration. The effect and image quality are relatively poor. Generally not needed. This is just a brief illustration. The main method is to use lightning for acceleration. The effect will be better. Below is a Wuyangfeng image with a high resolution enlargement. Add this lightning. Accelerate in 2 steps. Using 8 steps will yield better results, so here I use 8 steps. Then here is a superior. An amplification and VR. This allows you to generate 8000 or 4K. You can set it up yourself. Set its magnification factor. There are annotations here. The last one is used for image retouching, or a raw image, or control net reference image. For example, I want to refer to this picture, generate an image and then use this poster to modify. This gives us the diagram and this poster. This is the final magnified result. It's very exquisite. I will go into detail about this later. First, let me introduce the system in Brain Cloud Online Mirror. Open my mirror and update to the latest version. This is what I'm watching now. What you're seeing now is using this image. If you see that I can use it, then you can use the tool required. Ready to use immediately. I can replicate all my workflows with one click. This is using an online mirror. The advantages are ComfyUI. You can also install and add models yourself, or modifications, etc. This is the benefit of online mirroring. My entire deployment and workflow. One click to make it your own. Moreover, each of these workflows includes videos and notes. You can learn and apply what you learn at the same time. Moreover, it's all done in one stop. These models can be freely combined using a ComfyUI, more suitable for professional design users. And this not only contains RWR complete workflow, also Qwen-Image's complete workflow. There's also a texturing image of LTX 2.0. What is the complete workflow for generating the first and last frames of video? And it's RWR. The recently released SND. Workflow with multi-perspective switching. Everything is in here. It's a complete set. These are all commonly used workflows, and it's the latest workflow. Basically, all of them are available. Then it's further divided into video, image, and video-related tasks as some of Yuan's commonly used workflows. There are now 300 more image categories. Previous workflow. It might be more suitable for learning now. Voice-based software generates music, or generates speech, or extract human voice, or a single sentence voice clone. Or it could be a song with a voice change function. Commonly used workflows are available. Then, if someone wants to deploy locally, you can open My Notes, click on the ComfyUI tutorial in the navigation. It will then jump to the next workflow location. At the very bottom, this is exactly the same as the mirror image. It is also divided into video, Open the image category or categories. I place it in this position. The name is the same as the workflow name, 2512. There's an installation tutorial inside. Click on it. Download links for the models used. And placement. And select the image you want to download. All models. There are also screenshots of the workflow below. The values are clearly visible in each screenshot. Sometimes I only need these values. You can click to view. This is a screenshot of the entire workflow. This makes it convenient to use. The bottom one is the workflow download. This node is suitable for people who deploy locally. It's best to use my online mirror directly. Update to the latest version, which is the one I'm using now. This way it can be used immediately after opening. No need for deployment, etc. The first workflow is the official default workflow, 212. 30 steps yields the best results. Of course, its realism in depicting specific tasks is not as strong as draw images. You can generate complex prompts very well. Draw image is not currently well suited for generating this image. Complex prompt words. Therefore, it has its advantages. Qwen-Image generates relatively realistic portraits. That is its advantage. This is just one more. A node for local repair. Then you can use this model to perform local repairs. A speed up LoRa has been added here. If you want better results, you can disable it by right-clicking. Then there's something to note here. That is, the intensity if you want it to be close to the original image, then you should set the intensity of this modification to a lower level. For example, 0.1 or 0.2. If you don't want to refer to the original image, if a complete change is required, then you can just set it to 1. Increase its similarity. I won't refer to this original image anymore. It's best to refer to the original image a little bit here. For example, the outer outline or something like that. The setting here is 0.6. You can adjust this weight as needed. Then this is just right-clicking. Apply the color to the area you want to modify. Then read the revised prompt text. This is just the area you applied. Become a little blurry. The level of blur should be set depending on the situation. This way it can be blended with the original image. Are perfect. There was no trace of that excess. So a blur has been added here. Blur the smear. The third one is an effective LoRa. This is the acceleration model for lightning. This is the best effect. Basically, it looks similar to the default raw image. Of course, the above 30 steps will definitely be more effective. But this effect is better. This speed is better. The effects are basically the same. Its speed is basically the same as draw image. It can be generated in about 4 seconds. Then, the LoRa turbo acceleration model is used here. This effect is rather poor. Of course, the speed is also very fast. The image quality isn't very good. We recommend using lightning. But it also has its advantages. If it generates something, you can try it out. Sometimes when it generates a picture, it's a little different, simpler, and more concise. Of course, it's best to use lightning. Accelerating LoRa is most effective. The bottom is a raw image with a high-resolution zoom. This uses the LoRa acceleration model. If you don't need it, then increase the deployment to 30. This way it can generate 8K or 4K. This is the magnification factor. You can set it to 1x or 0.5x, or a multiple of several times. The image size you need. This magnified restoration is perfect. It can be scaled up to 8000 and 4000. The last one is more important. It can print images and add control on that. At high definition magnification, it can also change a character's posture. You can input character poses first here, then enter a reference image here. Then reverse engineer the prompt words. This is where you can add prompt words. Sometimes the clues it derives may not be accurate enough. You can add your own prompts here. Of course, you don't want to add any blank spaces. This is the default workflow. In this way, it can be based on this diagram. Reverse the prompt words to generate an image. Then, based on its control net model, refer to the image and use this posture to generate. Refer to its depth map pose. Change the character's pose. Of course, you can refer to the posture. You can also refer to the depth map. You can choose from the line out here or refer to it. If you don't want to change your posture, then you can just connect the Perk from this side. Connect this position. Just disconnect it. For example, like this. Take it. The resulting action will be similar to this. However, this raw image more is not a photo retouching process. It will simply extract its reverse prompt words. Use the in-depth image to get raw images. So the facial features and style of the characters, they won't stay exactly the same. For example, I don't refer to this character's pose. Use the original image as a reference. Let's generate it and take a look. Other workflows during generation, you can disable it by going to its group location. This way, it won't generate the image above. This is just based on its reverse engineered prompts. Add its depth map reference to the raw image. The advantage of this is that it completely changes the image. I won't say it's a character's facial features. Many details have been preserved. Of course, the weight of the depth map can be placed here. If you want a stronger reference than one, if you want a lower reference point, you can adjust it accordingly. This depends on the situation. I will set up another node for image washing later. This is different now. It is merely a reference image for reference content. It won't be the same as the original image. If you want to repost the photos, then this node needs to be disconnected. Use this to disconnect. Drag it outside and let it go. Use this reference image to create a raw image. Take this node out. Connect this image. Then connect this VAE to this. Generally, dragging the text onto this word and releasing it will connect it. Then control this weight. If you want it to be close to the original image, just lower this value. For example, 0.2. If you want it to be completely different, just set it to 1. This is a link commonly used for image retouching. I just don't want the changes to be too drastic compared to the original image. This node can be used. Nodes of a graph. This allows for process control, a similarity to the original image. This is often used when retouching images. This method of image processing controls its similarity. The one just now was completely different from the original image. some similarities without referring to the original image. This method is more suitable for image scraping. Not required to be exactly the same. And it can change some of its postures. This deletes and reverts the previous one. Connect from here to here. This kind of reference is different. That way I can refer to this image to get the raw folder. At the same time, I can also think about changing its posture. Control its depth map. Use this depth map to create raw images. Therefore, there are two methods needed. I think this method would be better. Generally, the generated image should not be exactly the same as the original. Therefore, the controllability is very strong. Change your posture whenever you want. The one just now was different. It's just a raw image. The similarity level is controlled based on this weight. Note that you should use this when not using raw images. Set to E, because this link only shows a size. These are brand new. If you don't set this to 1, it generates half and half. Let's pause and regenerate this first. So if you want to clean up the image, you are just like I was just now. A raw image was dragged out from here, then set this weight. That would be very close to the original image. I think this method is more suitable for image retouching, not required to be exactly the same, and it can change some of its postures. Then this is where you zoom in. This way you can get 4K or 8,000 images. That's all for this episode. Let's all go have fun.